I unlocked the absolute worst bottom tier power ever. Water drop. I am basically just a walking lip balm for the popular girls. Everyone treats me like a total joke and calls me useless baggage. So, naturally, during battle exams, they use me as a human shield, but in just a heartbeat, the so-called sacrifice absolutely wrecks everything in sight. That is because I unlocked the evolution system, transforming my trash water skill into a straight-up god-tier force, the fury of the Ocean Deity. An intense, crushing gale tears through the shattered walls of a ruined metal factory. Someone violently pushes me forward. Tiny rocks crunch loudly beneath my sneakers as I try not to fall. I steady myself, calmly dusting off the worn white sleeves of my school jacket. I stare into the absolute darkness of the warehouse doors. Deep, echoing snarls vibrate from the shadows within. At least 12 monsters. You bottom-tier losers need to accept your role as monster food. Leighton sneers lazily from behind. The spoiled heir of the local elite family twirls his glowing crimson weapon. Fire flickers at the end of it, casting shadows over his arrogant, nasty grin. A premium level 2 fire rod. Selling that thing could literally buy a normal family a mansion. The scout is ready. One of his goons yells out, "Watch closely, losers. This is what happens to trash." Dozens of kids here for the combat test hover behind the barricade, faces completely blank. Some look sorry, but most are just glad it is not them out there. Sucks for him, having that useless splashing power. Rumor says he scored rock bottom at the power trials last month. That is why he is on suicide watch today. The decoy squad. We literally only exist to be punching bags for the actual warriors. Once you get drafted, you are doomed. The gossip floats around, but I just block it out completely. I pull a beat-up, rusty coin from my jeans. I flip it repeatedly in the air. My eyes are completely ignoring the creepy building. Instead, I am staring at a glowing blue screen hovering in midair. Upgrade interface offline. Unlock requirement. Hit 100% shock value. Currently at 99%. After 4 weeks. Ever since I got branded as bottom tier, this menu has been permanently glued to my peripheral vision. Every single insult, side eye, or moment of bullying pushes that loading bar just a little bit further. 4 weeks of absolute hell got me to 99%. Almost there. I snatch the metal token, feeling its scratched edges. A tiny smirk escapes me. The bully is not wrong. I spin around, talking like we are just hanging out at recess. I really hope you handle those level 1 wind wolves like a total pro. Do not disappoint me. He squints, looking totally confused. A helpless loser walking into a death trap has no right to look this confident. Way too chill. It is honestly freaking him out, but his massive ego kicks right back in. I am just a bottom tier 0 who can barely make it rain. After all, faking confidence will not save this guy from getting ripped to shreds by monsters. Shut up. The rich kid readies his weapon and points at the doors. Move your feet. Beep. Massive disrespect recognized. Adding 10 points. The digital display flashes, but stays stuck at 99%. I scowl. 10 points up, yet the meter is frozen. I rapidly read the tiny warning print below the main screen. I completely missed this detail earlier. Warning. 10,000 points needed to unlock. You have 9,910. 90 point rave left. Not one single point. I freeze for 2 seconds, realizing 99% meant 9,900. With the 10 I just earned, I am still 90 away. Normal bullies only dish out like 1 to 5 points max. Even the ultimate disgust, from a spoiled rich boy, only hands over 10 points. Honestly, farming those last 90 points from trash talk will take forever. But, wait a minute. I throw my token. I stare right at those creepy neon eyes inside the building. A wicked grin spreads across my face, an insane idea brewing. Hurry up, loser. Why are you just standing around? A sidekick violently shoves my shoulder. I go with the momentum, stumbling right through the doorway. My sneakers squeak loudly against the abandoned metal flooring. Huge holes dot the roof above me. Faint beams of sunlight slice into the gloom, highlighting crusty metal rails everywhere. It smells like absolute garbage in here. Deep, menacing snarls echo from the shadows, completely surrounding me. Over 10 sets of glowing emerald eyes flash in the dark. Level 1 mutant wind wolves. Fighting a single one is chill, but an organized group will easily shred a level 2 fighter to pieces. Leighton and his 4 sidekicks secure the upper level before he aggressively slams his staff down. Brilliant fire erupts everywhere, illuminating the space while those beasts target me. Leighton just throws me a nasty smirk. Chill out, okay? Just stay put as bait and let me handle the heavy lifting. Thanks a ton, man. I reply with total fake sincerity while pressing myself against the freezing metal barrier. Suddenly, the lead gale wind hound dashes forward in an absolute blur of gray. Coated in glowing green energy, The beast leaps right at my neck. Instead of sprinting or blocking, I casually shift my head, ignoring the airborne monster entirely. My eyes lock onto some distant shadows. Someone incredibly powerful is lurking over there, totally masking their aura. But wait, back to reality. With those talons barely 10 centimeters away, I slightly raise one finger to summon a tiny moisture bead. It looks totally basic and see-through. Just your everyday F-level skill. That super quick drop shoots silently, hitting the hound right in the tear duct, snapping its face backwards. Flinching those last 10 centimeters causes the creature to smash its head into the metal wall, instantly knocking itself out. That entire sequence happens instantly, causing the concealed spectator's aura to briefly waver. My super acute ears pick up a girl's faintly shocked whisper. Still, I never bother looking back. Flashing a tiny smirk, I hear my invisible system chime as the digits update. Gained 5 shock points from a mystery watcher. Currently at 9,915. Still 85 short. Not quite there yet, which is totally cool. Lowering my hand, I chill by the barrier once more. Across the zone, Layton is flexing his fire skills. Man, this performance has barely begun. Taking out his third beast, the guy shoots me this super sketchy, scheming glare, while I hang back, mumbling under his breath to a follower. That crony pulls a tiny glass bottle from his pocket, marked with crossbones. That stuff is definitely illegal monster bait meant for attracting top-tier targets. Wetting his mouth, the dude fixes his stare straight onto my jacket. Using me as a decoy was just a front. He is actually after my family's old, rusty antique coin. His wealthy family found out this artifact carries some crazy, unparalleled magical vibe. Why let a lower-tier loser keep it? Wiping me out makes way more sense. He signals his buddy. Getting the hint, the sidekick creeps over while I casually flip the treasure in the air. Flipping over and over, the metal flashes through space, reflecting the blazes. A brief blue gleam sparkles before fading fast. Everyone misses it while fire roasts the final hound. Retracting his weapon, our leader strikes a pose, while his fan club immediately starts hyping him up. You crushed it, boss. That A-tier inferno magic makes you an absolute prodigy. Way better than certain cowards hiding over there, the hype man says, glaring right into my soul. Meanwhile, I am just poking the asleep monster's ears for fun, when my teammate struts over pretending to care. Did that freak you out? Sorry, I could not rush over fast enough when it attacked. Totally fine, bro, I assure him while brushing off my pants. That dog just wrecked itself. Probably gained too much momentum and headbutted the barrier. One of the guys snorts, calling me super fortunate. Unbothered, the guy totally ignores me. A basic level 1 creature means absolutely nothing in his grand scheme anyway. The upcoming phase is the real deal. After declaring a 5-minute break, he mutters to his lackey. We are hitting the center next, he announces. While that sketchy follower sneaks right behind me with the potion, the guy gently unscrews the tiny bottle top. A super fine dust sprinkles down, clinging right to my neckline. This invisible bait is allegedly scentless. However, my nose picks up this weird, sugary metallic aroma that smells like stale magic. Peeking out the corner of my eye, I totally spot him retracting his arm. Seeing that phony sympathy still locked onto his expression, I completely understand the setup while checking my interface, sitting at 9,915 points, 85 to go. Basic trash talk will not cut it, but wild drama sure will. Keeping my mouth shut and playing dumb, I casually march along with the crew toward the danger zone. I slap on the perfect mix of scared and clueless. Total acting mode activated. 30 meters out, Sarah is chilling in the dark on a metal beam. Her dark combat jacket flaps a bit in the breeze. She's the Army's secret evaluator. And yeah, she totally caught my little trick earlier, sniping that wolf right in the eye with a drop of water. Pretty cool. That's literally her only takeaway. No biggie. Her radar is completely locked onto Layton's drama instead. She picked up the scent of that monster bait dust right away. A totally illegal military substance showing up in a school test? The Lin crew is beyond busted. Still, she's hanging back and watching. She's dying to know what twisted game Layton is playing. Plus, she wants to see how I handle getting pushed into a corner. Am I gonna cry for mommy? Or do something crazy? Deeper inside the plant, the area just massively expands out of nowhere. There are gnarly scratches ripped into the ground, definitely not wolf tracks. We're talking scrapes over half a meter thick. The metal flooring is basically shredded and peeled back like tin foil. Layton's goons immediately start sweating. Boss? Those scratches. Gotta be level 2 creeps. Yeah? Layton checks it out, looking totally unbothered. Big deal, just some trash level 2 stragglers. I could solo them. While bragging, his eyes super subtly flick toward the back of my shirt collar. That monster bait needs 15 solid minutes to completely spread out. Right now, we're only at the 7-minute mark. When that stuff maxes out, I'm basically gonna smell like a giant glowing neon target. It'll pull in every single freak within 3 miles straight to me. During the bloodbath, nobody's gonna care if some random loser bites the dust. The dude is literally doing the math in his head. You can see his smirk getting cockier by the second. Too bad for him, my mental clock is way sharper. 7 minutes down, and absolutely 0 level 2 creeps are here. That only means 2 things. Number 1, this zone is completely dead, and there really aren't any around. Number 2, a much scarier boss is crashing here, and the weaker ones are terrified to trespass. I stare at those massive gashes on the ground. Then, I check out the massive, ragged craters blasted into the roof. That's definitely not from regular wear and tear. Some absolute unit crashed straight through from outside and never left. My heart rate stays totally chill at 62 beats a minute. The ground starts shaking, just super faintly. It's this slow, heavy rhythm, like a giant heart pumping right under the dirt. The brainless sidekicks are totally oblivious. Layton's actually giggling with one of them, but I know the shaking isn't distant at all. It's literally right under my sneakers. I peek through the cracks in the metal tracks. A pair of dull crimson lights blink in the pitch black. They look like glowing chunks of hot metal. Definitely eyes. I look up, keeping my tone completely deadpan. Hey man, I think your little bait prank dragged in way too much heat. All the blood immediately drops from his face. Boom. The whole floor detonates. The metal plates rip wide open, blasting rocks and twisted train tracks straight up. An ash-colored beast, literally the size of a pickup truck, erupts from the crater. It's covered head to toe in insanely thick, metallic scales, and tons of level 2 armored freaks are pouring out right behind it. Another one, then another. In literally 5 seconds flat, 12 of these armored nightmares smash through, turning the entire central room into pure gravel. And all of them are hardcore staring at me, or rather, practically drooling over that monster dust glued to my shirt. Just great. The goons completely lose it, stumbling over their own feet to back up. Lit by the flames, Layton looks like he's seen a ghost. He banked on maybe 3 to 5 of these things, just enough messy drama to off one guy. But a dozen? This ain't an undercover hit anymore. It's a straight-up apocalyptic mess. Retreat. The rich kid shrieks, slamming his magic rod into the dirt. A massive wave of flames erupts, barely pausing the crazy stampede. Go. He ditches us and sprints, his 4 fanboys glued to his heels. 10 steps out. The dude actually spins around to yell at me. Hang tight, man. I'll get the cavalry. Nice acting, bro, except his legs are still sprinting full throttle. I just stay put, chilling as their cowardly backs vanish down the hall. I don't even blink. The flame barrier is already burning out. 5 seconds, tops, until it dies completely. I hold my ground. I'm just here for the shock value points. Score right now? 9,915. Only 85 left to go. 85 points. I just need a crowd whose minds I can totally blow. My eyes casually slide toward that metal rafter 30 meters out. Yep, the stealthy aura is totally still hovering there. And thanks to these armored freaks showing up, her heartbeat is jumping like crazy. Whoever's lurking is stressed out, debating if they should crash the party to save me. Perfect. I crack my knuckles and do a lightning-fast sweep of the zone. Grimy metal tracks, busted up columns, and a roof that's barely hanging on. Those tracks are completely caked in old rust, basically making them slippery as ice. The massive columns are shaking hard from the earthquake earlier. And that crater in the roof? It's perfectly lined up right above the monster squad's left flank. The whole ceiling was about to cave in. My basic water ability stats? Max output, roughly 200 milliliters. Reach, 2 meters. Pitting that tiny splash against 12 armored monsters in a straight fight? Absolute joke. Good thing a frontal assault was never my style. The flame barrier flickers out. All 12 metal-plated freaks rush in. Steel hooves absolutely demolish the ground, gunning for my throat. My eyes snap open. Retreating isn't happening. I pivot right, catching my balance perfectly on a busted steel beam. I sprint, not running away, just riding the scaffolding to flank them along the train tracks. Every single step is totally calculated. I stay dead center in their visual blind spots the entire way. 3 seconds flat. I hit the tracks. Both hands flick upward. Tiny beads of moisture instantly bleed from all 10 of my fingertips. I dump every single ounce of my remaining juice into this. I'm not shooting, I'm painting. The moisture slicks over exactly 3 segments of the track they're forced to stampede across. It's an ultra-thin, practically ghost-like gloss, but it'll do the trick. The lead monster's metallic foot strikes that slippery, dampened steel. Mixing my water trick with that polished rust tanks the friction straight to 0. A 3-ton armored tank going top speed instantly wipes out. The entire massive thing violently skids sideways, carrying insane velocity. The beast turns into a rogue bowling ball, slamming directly into a sketchy nearby column. Smash. The foundation totally crumbles. The attached roof struts collapse too. Literal tons of jagged metal rain down, crushing the second and third mutated freaks right behind it. Pure domino effect. Monster number 4 slips on the next slick spot. Numbers 5 and 6 completely crash out, creating a massive pileup. The rest of the pack gets totally jammed up by their own knocked-out squad. Metal grinding on metal violently echoes across the entire facility. 5 seconds flat. 12 rank 2 armor hounds absolutely wrecked in 5 seconds. All thanks to 200 milliliters of liquid. Up in the dark rafters, Sarah stands totally stiff. She's clenching her sword's hilt so hard her knuckles are ghost white. Her mouth hangs open, eyes wide in sheer disbelief. The basic water skill. He pulled that off with a beginner trick? That wasn't just fighting, that was god-tier crowd control. Right then, she isn't just mildly impressed. Her mind is totally blown. My system stats go crazy. Ping. Critical astonishment registered from a hidden spectator. Astonishment score up 80. New balance. 9,995. Just 5 points away from the goal. Suddenly, footsteps echo. Layton is hauling ass back here, and definitely not because he felt guilty. His escape route just got jammed by a fresh gang of storm wolves, chasing that bait powder smell. Pinned between disasters. Completely trapped. The guy was forced to backtrack. He sprints into the main area, and the crazy scene literally breaks his mind. 12 brutal armored hounds transformed into a literal junkyard mountain. Meanwhile, I'm just chilling in the dead center without a scratch, casually flipping a crusty coin. I pivot, locking gazes with him. Hey there, boss. I smirk. Where's the cavalry? The dude's mouth is quivering like crazy as he goes into complete denial. Wait, how the hell? Before he spits it out, the ground violently quakes again, and it's definitely not distant. It's coming right from under our feet. Way below that scrapyard of 12 dead beasts, an oppressive burst of deep red aura explodes through the concrete fractures. A gigantic, blood-colored hand absolutely shatters the last solid chunk of the ceiling from below. Concrete chunks shower everywhere through a massive cloud of dirt. An enormous shadowy figure drops down through that hole in the roof, hitting the deck so hard it makes everyone stumble. 5 meters tall, wrapped completely in gnarly, blood-red hide. Those blank crimson eyes are just oozing pure, unfiltered evil. A max-level rank 3 boss monster, the Crimson Fury Primate, basically the king of this dungeon. Layton literally drops his wand. The guy is too petrified to even grab it. The giant ape dips its massive head, scanning the entire space with those dead eyes. Suddenly, its giant claw shoots out and crushes the closest henchman. Zero chance to yell. Just a fatal squeeze. Bright yellow vapor violently erupts everywhere. Layton finally manages to let out this totally pathetic, shrieking wail. I'm planted 15 meters back, staring down a 5-meter nightmare. My system interface flashes silently. Astonishment total 9,995. Only 5 to go. Pulse sitting super chill at 62 beats per minute. The coin twirls across my knuckles as a neon blue spark dances by. That monster ape suddenly zeroes in on me. Without letting anyone blink, it grabs henchman number 2 and absolutely bodies him against the train tracks. Twin steel beams instantly shatter. The final 2 goons totally lose their minds and run for it. The beast just cocks its head and chooses the left guy. A single stride clears 15 meters flat. That giant claw drops, absolutely cratering the ground 2 meters deep. The beast spins around. Glowing red eyes lock onto Layton. Stay back, he whimpers, his jaw rattling uncontrollably. Fire dances violently on his staff, trembling harder than his grip. Fleeing is pointless. Do you know who I am? I'm the Lin family successor. With a terrified shriek, the guy hoists his weapon skyward. He dumps every single drop of his aura into the wood. A blazing fire column 2 meters across slams dead into the monster's ribs. Eat this. The dust settles. The giant beast barely flinches. The crimson flesh on its torso doesn't show a single scorch mark. It just glares at its own stomach. Then those glowing eyes snap right back to the screaming kid. You could literally read the monster's mind. Was that a joke? Total panic washes over the boy's face. The Titan raises a massive foot and stomps. Wood explodes everywhere. His fingers get pinned straight into the concrete. Ah, my arm. He shrieks, hitting the deck as violent shudders wreck him. A dark, wet stain ruins his trousers. Suddenly, a totally disgusting stench hits the room. The massive freak winds up a punch, aimed right at the kid's skull. Right then, an icy blue flash erupts from a metal rafter 30 meters out. Sarah leaps straight out of stealth mode. Her dark trench jacket billows like absolute magic in the air. Dual tech swords locked and loaded. She crashes them both down onto the monster's backbone. S-rank skill, Glacial Strike. The second metal meets flesh, ice spiderwebs across the beast's shoulders, but quickly stalls out. A brutal shockwave blasts right back at her. Agony tears through her fingers and palms. Bright yellow aura drips from the sword grips like liquid light. A maxed out double S-rank attack? It basically just gave the ultimate tier 3 boss a tiny scratch you could hardly see. The giant swivels its neck. A huge fist comes swinging in hard. She throws up her twin swords to defend. Boom. She gets launched through the air like a rag doll, crashing spine over backward into a ruined forge 30 meters off. The solid metal crunches backward, perfectly molding to her silhouette. Slipping free from the crater, she collapses onto her knees. She jams her weapons into the concrete just to stay upright. Glowing yellow blood starts dripping slowly from her lips. An absolute S-rank army prodigy gets wrecked in just one hit. Pure panic drowns everyone's hopes like heavy liquid lead. The monster pivots right back to its first victim. Meanwhile, I am chilling 15 meters out, leaning against the steel just like before, rolling a penny across my knuckles. Pulse chilling right at 62 beats per minute. A digital screen hovers and hums. All points sitting at 9,995. Need just 5 more. I look up, staring right past the giant brute. My eyes lock onto the shattered warrior girl. Her frosty gaze holds a feeling I totally recognize. It isn't terror, nor bravery. Just that absolutely crushing realization, when you give 100% and it means literally nothing. Get out. She croaks, her throat so busted you can barely catch it. But the giant brute is already shifting its aggro my way. I stash my loose change, casually brush some dirt from my jacket. Chill out. I don't yell, but the words slice through all the heavy panic perfectly. Shoving off from the metal bunker, I start strolling casually straight up to the nightmare boss. The girl's eyes basically bulge out of her skull. A pathetic F-rank scrub casually approaching an ultimate tier 3 boss? Every single combat drill she ever ran, every survival reflex, all those brutal frontline nightmares, absolutely zero of it makes sense of what I am doing. Her pulse totally stutters before hammering back into overdrive. My digital counter finally flips. Chime. Massive hopelessness located in target. Awe score jumps up 50. The vault hits 10,045. Requirements perfectly cleared. The ultimate evolution protocol boots up right now. A neon blue interface literally shatters my vision. Blinding yellow rays flood the zone. The exact moment that crazy glow erupts from the screen, I am completely blinded. Evolution matrix fully operational. Checking the user's equipped power set. F-rank Aqua Splash. 1 upgrade path open. Spend 1,000 awe points to evolve. 0 second guessing from me upgrade. The millisecond I decide, the dull letters showing the pathetic skill's name just glitch out wildly. Garbage words shatter into pixels and fresh lines snap together. Evolution, totally nailed. Major props, you just unlocked an exclusive, totally broken, over S-rank skill. Poseidon's Fury. Flavor text says you run the oceans now. Liquid is the ultimate origin code. Hit, block, or shapeshift, anything without boundaries or stat caps. Leftover awe balance sits at 9,045. The insane yellow glare finally dies down. Reality snaps back into focus. We are talking less than half a second later here. The giant freak is just making its next move toward my face. A giant boot stomps the train tracks, totally crushing the steel into junk. That ridiculously huge hand is already dropping from the sky. Total darkness basically eats me alive. I hold my ground, tilting my chin up. The massive brute gets a front row seat to my changing stare. My supernormal dark irises get totally hijacked from the middle out by this crazy, glowing sapphire color. Straight up ocean vibes. I drop a line, totally unbothered, sounding exactly like I'm roasting a buddy in co-op. Bro, you really don't know how liquid works. I flick my thumb against my middle finger. Just a quiet, barely there click. Then the whole place drops dead quiet. Literally zero noise for over 300 feet in every direction. Dampness floods in to fill that quiet. It pulls every single drop of condensation left in this busted factory. Drops hiding in rusted metal, cracked pavement, or just hanging in the breeze, they all catch the exact same vibe. They all rush right toward me. Glowing blue waves pulse out from my sneakers, spreading like crazy magical rings across a quiet pond. That beast's massive fist is barely 6 feet above me, slamming down. Right on impact, a 30-foot glowing geyser blasts out from those floor rings, rocketing skyward. Zero hesitation, totally out of nowhere. Inside that geyser, saltwater whips around violently. We are talking supersonic speeds for every single drop. The insane drag completely shreds absolutely anything that touches it. The monster's giant hand smacks into the torrent and freezes. No sliding down, just a brutal brick wall stop. Those blazing fast currents slice straight into its thick skin, drawing a nasty trail of glowing yellow blood. You can finally see panic in the brute's glowing red eyes. Some tiny kid just sliced open its bulletproof paw, using nothing but puddles. The furious beast blindly swipes at the column, desperate to smash it apart, but it patches itself right back up in a heartbeat. You literally cannot punch a fluid. It is totally pointless. It snaps back together fast. You finished? I call out from inside the torrent, sounding way too chill. My go. I throw one hand up, fingers wide open. Up through the busted roof, the actual clouds start shifting shades. In 3 seconds flat, nasty dark blue thunderheads eat the dull sky alive. They twist into this absolutely massive hurricane. Suddenly, it is not boring sunlight pouring down through the rubble anymore. It is a straight-up flood. A crazy tidal wave crashes down, warping and twisting halfway to the floor until it turns into this colossal liquid claw. It dives hard and fast, wrapping right around that overgrown monkey's neck with absolute zero chill. That 15-foot monster gets totally pinned. It flails wildly, trying to claw its way free and actually ripping holes in the tidal grip, but the rips just heal over in a microsecond. Fluids do not have blind spots. You cannot snap what does not have bones. Unbreakable. I just stare him down with icy eyes as he struggles. My system screen is totally bugging out. Ding. Massively freaked out teammate spotted. 200 awe points scored. Ding. Someone is literally losing their mind in pure panic. Another 150 points. Ding. Random goon experiencing total brain melt. Boom. 80 more points. Ding. A whole squad of peeping toms watching through cameras just dropped their jaws. Plus 500. Sitting pretty at 9,975 total, and the meter is still running wild. I just chill and watch this huge freak burn itself out. The frantic thrashing is definitely starting to look pathetic. It is not quitting. My tidal chokehold is just clamping down way harder now. Still kicking, though. Seriously. A maxed out level 3 boss has a ridiculous health bar compared to the usual trash I fight. No rush, buddy, I whisper, sounding like I am just waiting on the microwave to ding. But big guy is not throwing the towel in yet. It unhinges those ugly jaws and burps up this nasty, glowing red laser beam of dark vibes right into my watery fist. A 10-foot crater blasts wide open, but that gap gets instantly patched over by the current before you can even blink. I pop my neck a little, caught a pretty sweet detail the second that oversized chimp puked out its laser. Its throat scales went from super intense crimson to a weak, washed-out pink. Thing is literally torching its own life bar to survive. All right. Playtime is over. I wipe the smirk off my face. No point in keeping this sideshow going. Stalling just leaves my girl bleeding out on the floor. Shred, I say, and the giant puddle immediately takes the hint. No more choking or grabbing. The whole thing shatters instantly into thousands of super skinny fluid wires, buzzing so fast they basically go invisible. 10,000 pressurized hydro scalpels swarming all at once to trap the ugly beast from literally every single direction. Nowhere to hide. That tank-like hide, the same one that literally laughed off an ultimate ice slash earlier, gets sliced a fraction of an inch deep instantly. Then doubled on the rebound. Hit number 3 completely tears through right down to the meat. The huge monster finally shrieks, like a total coward. It goes absolutely psycho, trying to fight back, but you cannot punch a river. Swinging blindly does 0 damage. Its knuckles just phase right through the fluid, which instantly knits back together to keep carving it up like a turkey. 3 seconds in, that massive ape's arm just pops clean off its socket. No swords involved, just 10,000 liquid threads, slicing with absolute surgical perfection, while the beast's roars turn into high-pitched squeals. Pure terror is all it has left. By second 5, my liquid blades finish their absolute shredding routine. I snap my fingers shut and let go. The torrent retracts instantly before exploding outward like a massive shower of golden sparks. That terrifying Tier 3 Lord-class monster literally crumbles into a gazillion glowing pixels. Those glowing drops bend a cool 10 centimeters around my figure, dropping harmlessly behind me like a force field. My school clothes stay blindingly pristine. Meanwhile, the entire battlefield drops into totally eerie silence. Plop. A fist-sized crimson gem drops, bouncing twice before nudging my sneakers. Boss loot. I squat and snatch it, stashing it beside my gross old coin. I stand back up to check on my boy Layton. Dude is totally collapsed. Wand splinters literally jammed into his palm, staring off with absolutely blown out, crazy eyes. I stroll his way, Zero dirt on me, zero sweat happening. Squatting again, I lock onto his panicked stare. The guy's jaw is chattering so hard it might break, babbling absolute gibberish instead of actual words. Sick monster bait, bro, I drop casually. Maybe pack a backup cure next run in case you get stuck too. He finally manages to squeak out an actual phrase. Tripping, he whimpers in this incredibly high pitch. I'm totally tripping. You're F rank, a trash tier droplet user. No way this is real. He wildly backhands his own cheek with his healthy hand. Smack. It rings out super loud. Still real. Smack again. Fake. He mutters. Seriously, the Lin family hyped this guy? Total flop. I stare for 2 ticks, then bounce up. Quit slapping yourself. You'll look puffy. Ignoring his meltdown, I pivot and wander over to Sarah. My system notifications are going wild. Ding. Destroyed dude's whole reality. Score 300 sweet shock points. Sarah hasn't budged an inch. She's kneeling hard, practically using her twin tech swords as crutches to stay upright. She's panting like crazy, though her frosty blue glare stays absolutely razor sharp as she tracks my approach. Her expression is wild, totally freaked out, dizzy, yet doing the math. You aren't F rank, she croaks, sounding wrecked but dead serious. Halting 3 paces away, I shrug. Well, I was 10 minutes ago. That literally silences her. You can tell she's dying to grill me, but military discipline wins. What's the cooldown on that move? Straight to the critical stats. Drained maybe 30% of my tank back there. We're solid. She just nods, game face on. She digs inside her tactical jacket and fishes out this tiny emergency radio. She smashes the red panic switch to hit the army frequencies. Sarah here. Code Sierra 017. Her tone drops into super crisp military mode. Eastern Bloc. Old Metal Works testing grid. S-tier threat active. Major incident ongoing. That maxed out tier 3 angry 8 boss is dead. I'm banged up. We got kids hurt out here. Need backup now. Dead quiet on the comms for 3 seconds before some guy responds, sounding incredibly stressed but professional. Sarah, verify that tier 3 alpha is dead. Verified. Did you secure the kill? She side-eyes me, where I'm literally squatting, tossing my junk tier rusty coin around like a fidget spinner. The battleground is absolutely demolished from my sparkly finisher. Yet here I am chilling in the middle looking fresh and completely unbothered. Nope, wasn't me, she admits. Then who did? The kid who handled it is just an exam candidate. She interrupts flatly. On paper, he's a basic F rank. Cue 5 awkward seconds of radio silence, instantly followed by the gnarly smash of breaking pottery. Meanwhile, buried 3 levels deep in the local army bunker, the command room is totally plastered with 24 Ultra HD monitors. Display 7 is tracking our sketchy factory zone. Like 11 staff members are practically breathing on that specific screen, including the literal head honcho, Commander Gray. This super skinny 62-year-old dude rocking an unbadged, basic drab outfit. Well, he was sipping tea 30 seconds ago. Now, bits of his fancy mug are just sprinkled everywhere. The whole room is absolutely glued to monitor 7, watching the instant replay looping over and over. They're obsessing over my phantom liquid hand, manifesting out of nowhere, shredding the beast, and triggering that insane golden meteor shower, literally scrubbing through every single frame at turtle speed, rewatching it 3 times over. As my finisher landed, their live scanner interface straight up broke, flooding with red danger icons and insane maxed out power levels. The tech lead sounds completely spaced out. We set up Type 7 energy scanners today, and their absolute limit is S tier. It did not just cap out, the thing completely broke. Our highest spike blew past the S-class ceiling by 40% minimum. Dead silence fills the control room. General Gray is practically glued to the monitor, locked on the teen wearing crisp white. They pause the playback right as the fight wrapped up. There I am, squatting in the middle of that glowing golden wreckage, casually flipping a coin without a single dirt smudge on my outfit. Bring up his dossier right now, General Gray orders. 30 seconds pass, and my school profile blasts across the giant display. Name is KL, 17 years old. Awakening level F. Power, water, droplet. Background notes are literally 0. Suspiciously spotless. An F-tier water power. Gray shifts his gaze from the documents straight back to the video feed. The footage shows this massive watery hand crashing down from above. Honestly, the whole visual gives off serious mythological painting vibes. It is way past triple S tier. Reed double-checks his numbers to be absolutely sure. Boss, as far as I know, the whole Federation only has 3 officially documented triple S tier powered individuals. Science books actually have a word for anything past S class. Mythic tier. That idea has been stuck in nerdy essays for 20 years. But not anymore. General Gray leans over, grabbing a broken piece of his shattered teacup off the ground. Lock down this video file with maximum encryption immediately. Listen up, everyone in this room. Starting right now, whatever you just witnessed is completely restricted under top-tier military secrecy. Leak this to anyone without clearance, and you are facing a court-martial. 10 staffers yell out their confirmation, while Gray stands tall. Comms team, patch me through to Sarah. Hey Sarah, where exactly is that kid at? Literally standing next to me. Dead air for a second. He is actively flipping the ironclad monsters over. Gray just blinks in confusion, asking what she means. Yeah, the ones he wiped out using that hydro shield. They basically crashed into a massive heap. A bunch of them are trapped upside down and cannot get back on their feet. The guy is literally lending them a hand. Sarah sounds super weird right now. Not even being sarcastic. Just utterly brain-fried by how crazy this is. Gray decides to ignore the whole monster flipping thing. Sarah, what is your current damage report? 3 ribs are totally wrecked, and my left lung took a hit, but I am surviving. Backup and the medical crew are heading your way. ETA is 6 minutes. Pay super close attention. Gray pauses for 2 seconds to figure out exactly how to phrase this. Until backup gets there, absolutely do not do anything that might make the kid feel threatened. Do not question him, and definitely do not trap him. Got it loud and clear. Quick question though, did you spot that monster baiting dust Leighton deployed mid-test? I caught the whole thing on camera. Awesome, keep that evidence safe. He cuts the feed, standing right in the middle of the room, totally captivated by the paused teen on monitor 7. An officer nearby cautiously chimes in. Sir, how exactly should we handle this kid? Hearing the phrase handle him immediately makes Gray frown hard. Handle him? He snaps back. A 17-year-old gets tossed out as totally expendable bait by the front lines, while some toxic classmate literally rubs monster attractant on him, hoping the bloodbath wipes him out. And while dealing with all that trash, the guy finally let his secret powers off the leash. Yet here you are bringing up threat levels to me? The officer instantly shuts their mouth. General Gray marches straight over to the comms desk and physically grabs the receiver himself. Patch me into the Avenor Awakener Bureau, followed by High Command, and finally hook me up with the headmaster at 3rd Academy. He stops for a beat. The exact idiot who threw this kid into the suicide squad. His voice stays super chill, yet the room feels like it drops 2 degrees. Meanwhile, deep inside the wrecked steel factory, yeah, I am legitimately out here flipping ironclad monsters right side up. 12 level 2 armored beasts are acting so ridiculously tame around me that Sarah probably assumes she is tripping. I manifest a water tendril to pick up the top monster by its middle, carefully rotating it until all 4 paws hit the dirt. It touches down, shakes off the dust, and immediately leans in for head pats. Quit rubbing on me. You are literally leaking more spit than my whole droplet power can even make. The creature just keeps aggressively snuggling. I shove its giant face aside. The breeze inside the ruins completely dies down for a moment, before whipping back up, blowing those leftover power waves everywhere. I pinch the boss core between my fingers, casually tumbling it around my hand a couple times. After slipping it into my pocket, I take a good look around the wreckage. 3 of the henchmen are basically just corpses tossed randomly across the zone, totally dead. The only guy still breathing is Dex, currently hiding in a ball behind the incinerator, quivering like he grabbed a live wire. And then we have Leighton propped up against a smashed column. His brain is basically fried to a crisp right now, but his heart is still beating. I take my sweet time strolling over. Crushed rocks grind beneath my sneakers, with every tiny noise echoing endlessly inside the empty warehouse. 2 meters away, then 1.5. I pop a squat. Up this close, that nasty combo of glowing fluid and gross body odor is intense. The stink of pee and sweat is absolutely brutal, but I barely react. Hey, Leighton. His jaw starts aggressively clicking. I ask, you talk. My voice is icy cool. Give me what I want, and we can completely drop this. That sentence crashes straight into his broken brain, and pure survival instinct latches onto it instantly. Okay, I'll tell you absolutely everything. Who came up with that monster bait stuff? My uncle, he blurts out instantly. Leighton's uncle from the Lin clan's secondary bloodline. He ordered me to take you out during the exam. All because of that ancient coin. Leighton shoots a terrified glance at my pocket before flinching away like it's radioactive. He claimed the coin's crazy energy vibe is worth way more than an entire Class A hidden dimension. My fingers trace the rusty metal hidden in my pocket. Class A zones pull 15 billion minimum. Makes sense why he got greedy. Who else is in on this? Just us 2. He squeaks. He wouldn't dare tell the council or our head honcho, so he wanted it all. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed to hear. He stares at me, praying his confession just bought him his life. A tiny smirk twitches on my lips, giving him false hope. It's a surprisingly soft smile. Kyle, I swear I spilled it all. Leighton croaks out. Spare me, and I'll help you crush him. I can snag you crazy family perks. I casually lift my hand. I don't summon any magic, just spread my fingers and rest them gently against his scalp like a feather. Got it all memorized, I whisper softly. Super helpful. Thanks for that. He completely freezes up, but his confused reply dies in his throat as I tap the sweet spot right behind his ear. It's a super lethal pressure point. Right there, I manifest a single, tiny liquid needle, 0.08 millimeters thin, slimmer than a hair strand. It pierces straight into his brainstem. His eyes lock up in absolute shock, jaw hanging slightly open forever. Propped up against the metal railing, his corpse literally just looks like a guy zoning out. The entire kill takes half a heartbeat. I pull back, casually flicking that deadly drop into the cracked concrete. Time to clean up. I grab a chunky, dark red shard of magic shrapnel from the dirt, shoving it directly into the puncture mark near his temple. It mimics the exact damage from that berserk monkey's explosive entrance. Pushed in at a sweet 20-degree downward slant, an absolutely flawless fake-out simulating a high-speed blast injury. Lethal trauma obvious. Trajectory checks out. Crime scene looks totally legit now. Perfect. Strolling behind the busted heater, I find Dex curled into the tightest fetal position ever, practically paralyzed. Yo, I say. He jumps like he's been tased, peeking one terrified, bloodshot eye at me. I squat beside him. When the army grills you later, keep it real. Tell them a level 3 monster ambushed our test. Sarah and your squad tanked it while I just cowered uselessly in the back. Dex frantically processes my script. Pointing over at the corpse, I add, Leighton caught some random crossfire from the ape straight to the dome. You watched the whole tragic accident. He stares blankly for 3 seconds before nodding so hard he might snap his spine. Chill out a bit, I mutter, getting up. Looking a little traumatized and tongue-tied makes it way more believable. Sounding rehearsed is a rookie mistake. His manic nodding finally chills. System chime. Extreme fear and absolute compliance logged. Scored 35 shock points. Honestly, I'll take it. Looking back, I spot Sarah slouched against the scrap metal. She's using her bunched-up jacket to cushion her spine. I stroll over through the scattered tech junk, finding a decent metal slab. I prop it up like a makeshift table and pull moisture straight from the atmosphere. Completely purified. Zero nasty chemicals left over. I push the liquid orb toward her. Hydrate. She eyes the floating drink warily before leaning in for a quick sip. The second it hits her stomach, an icy, refreshing rush floods her chest, instantly knocking out roughly 30% of her broken rib agony. She squints at me. Does this have magic regen buffs? No clue, honestly. I shrug, just unlock the skill and skip the tutorial text. She glares at me quietly for 3 long seconds. I know what she sees. A 17-year-old kid, looking creepy and immaculate in a spotless uniform amidst this total war zone. You're Kyle, she states flatly. Yeah, sniping that wolf's optic nerve with a tiny splash. You flex that entirely for my benefit. I don't argue. Why though? Just wanted a good audience reaction. It's a super vague excuse, but it manages to stun her into total silence. A low rumbling echoes nearby as 6 army choppers suddenly swarm the skyline from the northeast. Blinding beams cut through the wrecked steel factory's gloom. Chopper bays slide open, dropping black-clad spec ops squads straight into the rubble. Combat medics hit the dirt way before anyone else. A pair of docs sprint over to Sarah, popping their trauma bags flawlessly. A second squad swarms Leighton, who finally stopped smacking his own face. Dude is just huddled by the barricade staring at nothing. One doc examines his wrecked hand while flashing a beam straight into his totally blank eyes. The medic signals their boss immediately. Severe mental breakdown. Get this guy out now. They yank the last living goon from behind the smelter. He spent way too much time stuck in a tight fetal position. His arms and legs are totally locked up. The shredded leftovers of his 3 buddies get zipped into body bags. The head honcho, a colonel, scans the main wreckage. He's staring at the glowing debris, littering the concrete, and that massive 2-meter blast hole. Looking visibly shaken, the guy marches my way. I'm just chilling on a busted metal slab, smoothly rolling a coin across my knuckles. Sometime during the chaos, 12 armored monsters casually boxed me in. They aren't trapping me, they're straight up playing bodyguard. The officer freezes roughly 3 meters back. 12 heavy metallic heads instantly snap in his direction. 24 glowing crimson eyes dead stare the commander. and he visibly gulps. Hey Kyle, the officer forces a totally unnatural smile. I am Colonel Colin, repping the Eastern Defense Branch. General Gray wants you scooped up. My coin trick stops dead. Going where exactly? Just base camp. Colin panics, blurting it out. Promise it is not a police grill session. The boss just invited you for some tea. I stare him down for 2 agonizing seconds. Think my monster squad can tag along? Colin nervously eyes the 12 3-ton Titans, then awkwardly measures the chopper hatch with his gaze. Gonna have to run that up the flagpole. A digital counter clicks silently in my head. Chime. System logged Colin's sheer disbelief. Snagged 15 shock points. I stash the loose change and finally hop off my metal throne. Slouched against the wall of the evacuation chopper. It is time to put on an Oscar-worthy show. I completely choke off my power signature. Lowered my breath rate to 20 hits a minute and hunched my shoulders like a victim, tapping my pointer finger against my wrist to fake nervous energy, playing the pathetic F-rank loser who accidentally went nuclear because he freaked out. Riding opposite me, Colin totally buys the anxious kid act. He keeps his mouth shut, 14 minutes flat, and our bird touches down on the Eastern Military Branch's main tarmac. I stumble out, clutching the doorframe like I am dizzy, perfectly faking my weakness. A welcome party is already chilling on the runway. This lady brass names herself Lieutenant Colonel Mia. She immediately escorts me to see the big boss. We skip the scary holding cells and head straight into a totally basic break lounge. Gray is chilling opposite the doorway. Skinny, wrinkled, looking way too normal for a Supreme Commander. Plain uniform, 0 shiny medals. Have a seat. The old man gestures at the empty spot. I plop down. He pours out a hot mug and pushes it my way. I fake a hesitant gulp. Premium stuff, straight from my roots. Gray grips his mug, his eyes piercing through the rising mist to study me quietly for 10 solid seconds. Pretty terrifying out there, right? He kicks things off with a super chill vibe. I force my hand to violently shake while dropping the mug. Yeah, basically, I whisper. A level 3 boss monster. Even our top S-class fighter got totally clapped, insanely blessed to be breathing. So, Sarah mentioned you unlocked some crazy god-tier skill when things got super deadly out there. Honestly, no clue what went down. I mumble, dragging out my words like a traumatized kid. Soon as that freaky blood monkey charged, my brain literally flatlined. Felt some weird energy snap deep inside my chest. After that, my memory is totally wiped. Best deceptions sprinkle in actual facts. Are you able to trigger that power right now? I stare blankly at my palms, dead empty. It vanished. I inject the perfect mix of heartbreak and sheer bewilderment. The general examines my fingers for 3 seconds before drinking his brew. Chill out, kid. Hitting a burnout phase after an awakening is super common. I agree quietly. We're totally aware I am acting my heart out, but nobody snitches. Halfway through his 3rd refill, a double rap hits the doorframe. Mia barges back in, looking totally spooked. She sidles right up to the boss and starts whispering some heavy secrets. Gray freezes his cup midair. You sure? Absolute fact. The docs spotted it when they ran a deep scan on the medevac flight. Early forensics prove he flatlined way before our squads touched down. His brain got shredded by monster shrapnel. Way before we ever got there, the old man mutters. So basically, mid-fight, the guy already watched the entire drone playback. He remembers those glowing fragments spraying everywhere like confetti when that boss monkey exploded. That epic shower of shiny debris absolutely nuked the entire central battlefield. One stray fragment sniping Leighton right in the skull during that insane chaos? Statistically, the math totally checks out. Tell his folks, General Gray orders. Mark him down as a battlefield loss. Lieutenant Colonel Mia just nods. On it, sir. Before dipping out, the door clicks shut, leaving just the 2 of us in the tea room. Gray shoots me a look while I clutch my mug like a lifeline. My fingers are shaking, staring hard into my drink so I don't have to make eye contact. Looking exactly like some traumatized kid who hasn't bounced back. The general keeps quiet and just tops off my drink. 20 minutes pass before someone walks me down to the med center. Right as I leave the room and turn the hallway corner, I literally bump straight into Sarah. She is rocking a fresh hospital gown now, totally wrapped up in heavy medical tape around her torso. She looks pale as a ghost, but those icy blue eyes are piercing right through me. Your powers, are they back yet? She asks. I just blink like an idiot. What powers? I'm literally just an F-tier splash guy. That whole crazy thing earlier was totally just adrenaline from freaking out. Seriously, I couldn't even summon a single water droplet right now if I tried. Sarah intensely studies every single micro expression on my face. Good thing I look super young. I am serving pure, clueless innocence, with a perfect dash of leftover panic. Honestly, it is an award-winning performance. If she hadn't literally seen me solo a tier 3 boss monster, she totally would have bought it. Adrenaline, she repeats, testing out the excuse. F tier splash. So you just got scared and accidentally whipped up a massive thunderstorm? And then panicked and shredded a top-tier boss into sparkly dust, using thousands of hyper-pressurized water beams? She gives me this intense glare. I just stare right back, playing dumb. We have a glaring contest for exactly 5 seconds before she finally breaks. Whatever, she sighs. I will play along with your little fairy tale for now. Reaching into her hospital robes, she pulls out this fancy-looking pass. It has these shiny gold borders and a slick 8-pointed star logo slapped on the front, the official logo for the Jiang University tournament. That whole competition kicks off next Wednesday. Her tone goes completely serious again. This is my VIP invite. It lets you bypass all those boring school trials and join the games completely solo. I snatch the ticket and slide it into my pocket. Appreciate it, boss. She just spins around and heads off. 3 paces later, she freezes without even glancing over her shoulder. Layton didn't make it. She drops the bomb, totally deadpan. Overheard the general talking about it earlier. I hit her back with the perfect amount of fake shock. Wow, out of nowhere. That sucks. She pauses for 2 seconds before keeping up her stride, slumping back against the hallway wall. I yank the ticket out again, holding it up so the harsh overhead lights catch the shine. The university tournament is exactly what I need. A massive platform packed with crazy crowds, insane loot, and endless ways to farm points for my system. My secret interface is softly flashing in my peripheral vision. The hype meter shows 13,740 points, and it is honestly still ticking upward. Word is spreading like wildfire through the base about my crazy stunt. Every single guy who hears the gossip drips a little more hype currency into my stash. Meanwhile, over at the Lin family mansion, on the west side of Jiang, their 300-year-old fancy courtyard table, yeah, it's completely smashed in half. Lord Lin pulls his hand back while wood chips are literally still floating everywhere. The dude is pushing 60, rocking perfect silver hair and looking sharp. He just karate chopped a 3-inch block of solid hardwood, like it was paper. His eyes are glued to this official base document sitting on the wreckage. Just cold, hard facts typed out in black and white. It basically says his kid is gone. Reason? Took a fatal hit from some tier 3 boss monster's energy blasts during a massive scrap. Dropped instantly, complete with gruesome crime scene pics. The autopsy file even has a signature from one of those top-tier army inspectors. The old man locks eyes on the name Kyle for a solid 5 seconds, right next to my pathetic F-tier water skill. During testing, the kid freaked out and somehow unlocked a massive power boost, helping drive the monster away. A voice suddenly echoes, "Second brother." Some middle-aged dude slinks out from the creepy dark corner on the left side of the room. That's Leon, the guy running all the shady underground stuff for the family. This was your grand scheme, the boss states, not even asking. Leon swallows hard. He instantly knows the old man found a plot hole in that official army document. The secret note he specifically ordered Layton to torch? Yeah, he is suddenly wondering if the kid actually destroyed it. He has zero clue since the guy isn't breathing anymore. Big bro, Leon tries to keep his chill. He was my nephew. Trust me, I am absolutely wrecked over this. Drop it. Lord Lin refuses to even glance his way, shifting his attention straight to the opposite doorway instead. Chilling against the wood is this 22-year-old dude decked out in all white, flexing a massive 3-foot blade on his hip. That's Caden, basically the ultimate prodigy of their entire bloodline. S-tier stats, flashy platinum, sword magic, and chilling comfortably at mid-tier 3. Dad, the setup was flawless, he says smoothly. The army's excuse for him biting the dust totally makes sense on paper, but that's ignoring the real issue here. Caden unclips his weapon, holding it straight up like an anime villain. The real crazy part is the nobody who somehow walked away from this. Kyle, the trash tier bait. That kid was supposed to be easy cannon fodder. But somehow, all the actual fighters get wiped out, and he gets a cozy chopper ride home without a single scratch, he adds, tilting his head with a smirk. Wild, right? It totally doesn't add up. Lord Lin sinks back into his seat, locking eyes with his favorite kid right over the splintered wreckage. Pitching next Wednesday's college tournament. Huh? Caden taps his blade. Literally every powered kid in Jiangzhou is jumping into that mess. If Kyle joins, you can totally interrogate him about your bro mid-fight without breaking any rules. Lord Lin finishes his thought, while Caden smirks. Ask him what exactly. An F-rank scrub steps up, and I clap him instantly. Zero time to chat before I one-shot him. Lord Lin chills out, holding up one finger. Just snatch that coin for me. Leon freezes up completely nearby. Lord Lin shoots him a look. Middle bro, you honestly thought I was totally clueless about your secret little side hustle with Leighton? Leon is sweating bullets now. You totally wanted to hoard it. Leon got caught up in this mess. The gig flopped, and somebody died. We are dropping this right now. Lord Lin grabs the file from under the smashed desk. Let Caden win the coin legit. Call off your stealth squad. Leon stays dead silent. Caden clips his weapon back onto his belt, ditching the room to head up the rocky stairs. That cold valley breeze kicks up, blowing the bottom of his white outfit around. Stopping to stare at his blade, he scoffs. An F-rank loser having a random power spike? Sure. Normies buy that excuse. But checking out his post-surge vibe, the dude was mentally sharp enough to handle army interrogations, pass the exams, and spill the whole story flawlessly. Being that hyper-aware does not scream random power trip. It screams total acting job. He pulls the blade out 3 inches before slamming it shut. That crisp metal click echoes through the dark. Catch you at the tournament. His tone is basically freezing. Fast forward to Monday. I hit up Jiang First Academy again. The campus is rocking 2 fresh vibes since I bounced. Memorial wreaths out front and crazy gossip about yours truly. Yo, hear the news? Kyle legit wrecked a rank 3 monster during exams. Cap, he is literal F-rank trash. How could he even scratch that thing? Still, dude lived. 3 out of 4 B-rank fighters completely died, yet some F-rank scrub walks off without a scratch. Insane luck, bro. I stroll through the quad, catching this chatter nonstop. My system tallies it all up. Every single kid gossiping nets me anywhere from 1 to 3 awe points. Annoying little bugs. Whatever. I stroll straight into the admin hub, hit the 3rd floor, and shove the main office door wide open. Walked right into a whole staff meeting. Chilling behind this massive desk way in the back is Director Harvey, the head honcho of Jiang First. I take 2 steps in and absolutely smack my sign-up sheets onto the closest table. Hey chief, need your sign-off for the college tournament. Director Harvey stands up, and man, his whole vibe gets super intense immediately. Having a rank 3 powered body gives off this crazy heavy aura that normies can practically taste. He strolls over, snags the paper, and scans the whole thing. F-rank, trash, bait team. He drops it back down, dangling it right over the trash can. Kyle, you even get how massive this tourney is for our rep? An F-rank bait kid joins, gets totally clapped, embarrassing our entire school, gets wrecked. And worse, who pays those hospital bills? Makes sense, honestly. But I am not letting him finish that speech. I dig into my jacket and whip out that special card Sarah slid me. Gold trim, 8-pointed star logo, Major Sarah's VIP Fast Pass. This bad boy lets me skip the school tryouts entirely and go rogue. I don't actually need his signature to enter, but playing the school card boosts their street cred. Director Harvey just reaches out and snags it. The second he touches it, his beady little eyes go super wide. A literal S-rank boss lady vouching for a tier 0 nobody, no matter how you spin it. That screams crazy backup he definitely shouldn't mess with. So he pulls a classic Harvey move. He shoves the pass back at me, grabs my paperwork, and fishes his official seal right out of his desk. Bam, stamped. I will go ahead and file this for you. His face instantly morphs into the fakest, most polite grin ever. Crush it out there. Talk about a mood swing. I stash my pass, throw him a nod. Thanks, boss. I dip out, the door shutting behind me. Out in the hall, my system flashes. Ding. Picking up Director Harvey's feelings. Total embarrassing defeat. Points up by 45. Ding. Sensing crazy mixed vibes from the 6 others inside. Total haul jumps by 30 points. Rolling out of the admin center, I literally bump into some dude outside. I don't recognize him, but my system does. Alert triggered at 12 meters. Target locked. Caden. Power tier S. Current mood. Chill but judging. Chilling at the bottom of the stairs is this dude in a white button-up, packing a sword. Caden. We lock eyes for a second before his stare drops from my face straight to my turny slip, then back up. He drops a line, super quiet, but just loud enough to bridge the gap. Kyle, try not to scrub out instantly, and then he just ghosts. Fast walker. I stare at him leaving while my system stays dead silent. Her vibe earlier? Just cold, hard judging. Not even mad or looking down on me. She literally gave nothing. Real heavy hitters don't care about a bug on the sidewalk. They only realize it's there the second it gets squashed. Cramming that slip into my totally busted jeans, I know I gotta wreck his chill. It's 11 p.m. Hitting up the Jiang scrap dump, I slide a super thin hydro thread right into the padlock and pop it. Whatever I grab doesn't have to be fancy or even a real blade. The system's upgrade rules are pretty straight up. You can mutate literally anything to its core. How dope it gets just relies on your point drop and the item's raw stats. Way in the back of the junk pile, I grab this freezing steel pipe. 1.6 meters, 3 centimeters thick, total heavy duty. Yanking it free. It's rusted to hell. Got screws on the bottom and a flat scoop on top, basically a sewer cleaner. Tossing it up, it's around 3 kilos. The balance leans like 3 inches toward the back. I give it a test slash. Honestly, not terrible. Resting it on my back, I keep hunting. Out of the tech trash, I score a metal plate shaped like a frisbee. Then I snag a chunky dark rock from the building rubble. Lining the 3 pieces up in the dirt, I squat down next to them. Putting the sewer stick flat out, I decide to test it. Hitting the upgrade button. Target locked on the pipe. It's rocking a basic D tier potential. Trash tier means dumping points won't make it god level. But I'm not looking for flashy. I just need a tool that won't get me reported when I list it as standard C tier hunter gear. Going too crazy makes you a target. Average is survival. Dropping 2,000 points. My screen goes wild. The magic kicks off at the tips. The grime doesn't just peel, it straight up melts right into the metal. Swallowed whole and forged again by ghost hands. All those dents smooth out, while the gross orange turns into this sick midnight blue. 3 seconds later, there's a flawless 1.6 meter dark pole sitting there. The screw threads are totally vanished. That weird scoop bit morphed into 3 wicked spikes. A legit pitchfork. Upgrade done. System tags it Tide Crest Trident. Ranked C+. Made of 91% Deep Abyss iron. First buff, Aqua Sync, drops my hydro spell costs by 15%. Second buff is Indestructible, making it 200% tougher than rival gear. Normal B tier swords can't even scratch this thing. Literally C+ gear packing B- armor stats. That means when I throw down with B- or even A- sweats in the tournament, their hits will just bounce off my pole. Looks basic, acts insane, secretly cracked. I grab my new pitchfork and give it a couple of twirls. The whoosh it makes has this deep, vibey hum, kinda like waves slicing reality. Opening my menu, I peek at the skill trees. The screen drops my choices. Number 1. Splash Strike Upgrade, sets me back 500 points. Number 2. Sea Fury Hydroblade runs 8,000 points. Number 3. Sea Fury Storm Summon is 10,000 points. Number 4. Sea Fury Wavebreaker costs 6,000 points. Upgrading a triple S plus ability is way pricier than boosting gear. I've got 10,210 left in the bank, which perfectly covers my main attack, the Hydro Blade. It's hands down my deadliest solo strike. I literally vaporized that monster monkey using this exact combo, locking in the 8,000 point Hydro Blade boost. No external fireworks this round, just pure internal vibes as my power core goes crazy. My mana veins totally rewire themselves. It takes maybe 7 seconds before the rush dies down. Upgrade locked. Skill tag, Sea Fury Hydro Blade. Leveled up to Sea Fury Blade Return, hitting rank S+. My thread count jumped to 50,000 with a pressure cap of 12,000 atmospheres. Plus, a fresh return buff means my threads stick around after slicing. They snap right back to me, creating this sick armor bubble that covers both attacking and blocking. Mana usage got way better too. Hitting the same damage drops my power drain by 40%. Basically, if I used to gas out after 2 minutes of going full send, I can now push 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Add in that return buff, and every hit I land stacks my shields higher. Dragging out a fight just makes me practically immortal. Stabbing my new pitchfork into the dirt, I chill against a steel shelf and stare at my hand. My points are sitting at 4,210. Gotta stop spending like crazy. The tournament kicks off next Wednesday. Flash forward to Wednesday at the Jiangzhou Stadium. I roll through the fighter gates and swipe Sarah's pass at the scanner. The machine beeps, and the check-in dude totally double takes. Kale, logged as an F tier, but with a VIP referral. That pass I just dropped? Sarah's personal invite. The guy frantically taps some codes into his monitor. Whatever pops up makes his face twitch slightly. He waves me through, and I swagger into lounge C-17 down in the fighter zone. I yank my Tide Crest Trident out of my canvas backpack and prop it up against the wall. The dark blue shaft looks slick under these lights. My score is 4,580, climbing 300 over 5 days. That annoying buzz of attention is still there, but leveling off fast. Time to shake things up. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock sharp. The massive Jumbotron is already flashing player stats by the time I finally walk out of the tunnel. My face pops up on the Jumbo screen, and the entire stadium's roaring totally flatlines. Fighter 121, Kyle Jiang from Joe First Academy. Rank F, Ability Splash. Out of 28,000 fans here, 25,000 spot that F. Some super loud bald dude jumps up from his seat and absolutely screams. An F tier on stage? Who rigged this? That sets off the fans, and his whole section totally goes crazy, questioning the match. F tier literally means spitting water, right? Total setup. Meanwhile, my vision panel is just absolutely blowing up with notifications. +3, +2, +5 points. More than 20 alerts hit in 10 seconds. Tiny drops, but a massive wave combined. Keeping totally low-key, I walk over to the other fighters and claim my spot. I keep a poker face while my points blast from 4,580 to 4,917. A quick 300. The boring intro wraps up, and the lottery kicks off. Fighter IDs start blurring across the massive screen. Bracket 37. Me, number 121. F tier splash. Against number 78, Bolt. He's a B tier with iron skin. The audience totally divides. Half is dying laughing at my free loss, while the rest are raging about the rigged tournament board. F tier fighting a B tier? Total setup. Up in the premium boxes, Caden stares right at the bracket graphics. Tapping his sword case twice, he mutters Bolt's name to his assistant. The guy just nods back. Those sports school kids are brutally direct. Zero chill over there. What bracket did I get? 51. I'm fighting some C-tier kid out of Cloud Peak Academy. Whatever. He looks away from the monitor, locking eyes on the kid rocking the faded blue-gray gear down in the lineup. Assuming Bolt wins, he's my next fight. The assistant rolls out the full tournament schedule. Brackets 37 and 51 clash in the second round. Caden just gives a silent little nod. Nobody even mentions Bolt losing, since literally no one thinks it's possible. F tier against B tier? Come on. There's zero chance. Prelims roll out in order. I'm deep in bracket 37, meaning 36 boring fights to sit through first. Going to be 2.5 hours. I grab a backstage seat, balance my weapon on my lap, and zone out to the crowd. More than 2 hours drag by before they finally call it. Bracket 37 fighters get to the arena. By the time I drag my spear up the steps, Bolt is already warming up across the ring. Both his arms are glowing with that iron skin power, looking like they're literally coated in dark gray steel. The height gap is totally hilarious. Dude is around 2 meters tall and pushing 110 kilograms easy. I'm 1.7 meters and 65 kilograms, rocking a worn-out uniform and holding a short spear. 3 seconds. Some fan yells. The refs speed-run the boring safety rules while Bolt aggressively pops his knuckles. His metal-coated fists smashing together sound like heavy rocks. Kyle, right? Look, I don't sugarcoat things, so listen up. I go all out here, but I won't kill you. Worst scenario is a few busted bones. Give it 2 months. Don't freak out. I just stare right back at him. Bro, when you're talking about shattered bones, whose are we actually discussing here? He looks super confused for a second before cracking up. Mad respect, kid. Never had an F-tier talkback before. Tell you what, survive one solid hit, and dinner is on me. I just nod. Better bring your wallet, bro. I speak up right before the ref backs away. Not yelling, but the mic easily picks it up. Just to clear things up. The stadium hushes. My official file says F tier with the splash ability. All of that is completely true. I take a beat, but my powers actually mutated during last month's survival test. The army already has it on record. The academy's database is just lagging behind. I flip my spear upside down and jam the handle straight into the floor. I'm actually a C tier with water flow control. Dead silence for a split second, and then the entire crowd loses their minds. C tier? Jumping from F to C overnight? Skipping that many levels is literally unheard of in school history. Up in the VIP boxes, Caden's assistant whispers a quick breakdown. A C tier with water powers, assuming he isn't bluffing. It's a massive upgrade from F, but against a tank like Bolt's metal skin, it's still outclassed. The math doesn't change. Caden stays totally silent. He doesn't care about the stats right now. He's trying to figure out why I'm dropping this secret here, because honestly, if you're a lower tier fighting a tank like Bolt, the smartest play is shutting up and attacking by surprise. Flexing your skills before a fight is basically useless. Well, unless you're totally hiding your actual secret weapon, call it a double bluff. Group 37. Start. The second that Bolt moves, the whole arena literally shakes. 110 kilograms covered in this shiny gray metal armor. Dude charges like a literal pickup truck. 12 meters out. He clears that distance in 0.8 seconds flat. His right hook starts charging up exactly 2 meters away from me. That metal fist changes from deep gray to crazy bright silver. 2 meters, 1 meter. I just lift my right pointer finger. Boom. All the humidity gets sucked from the air, shaping up instantly. A thumb-thick liquid whip, roughly 4 meters long, pops into existence in just 0.3 seconds. His punch is literally inches away. My water lash snaps forward, totally silent at the start. You hear the snap 0.1 seconds after it hits him. Why? Because that thing straight up broke the sound barrier. The target zone, right in the middle of his chest, zooming straight for his breastbone. His entire forward momentum completely flips the second it connects. That 110-kilogram dude crumples, while running and flies backward way faster than his charge. The arena's force field glows like a giant bouncy net to grab him. He totally slumps down the glowing wall. His knees smash into the ground, and he desperately catches himself with both hands. Dude is gasping super hard like a stranded fish. The main ref starts counting down. 3. The guy angrily clenches his jaw. His right leg pushes off the ground. He tries to stand, but right before he straightens out, this tiny thing blocks his vision. Just one single teardrop of water floating super still, maybe 3 centimeters away from his forehead. He completely freezes up, totally locked onto that floating bead. Then I whisper something super low, meant strictly for his ears. About that meal you owe me, man. I choose the restaurant. He glares at the bead for 1 second, then totally flops backward. His skull smacks the arena floor with a loud thud. He definitely isn't unconscious. Dude literally just quit on purpose. Fighter down for over 5 seconds. Number 121. Kyle takes the win. The ref throws up his flag, and boom, 28,000 fans go dead silent. You could literally hear the breeze blowing through the stadium roof. From his initial rush to getting blasted away, 1.8 seconds max. I honestly stood completely still and didn't even grab my gear. Just a single pointer finger, one liquid snap, a solo hit. Game over. It stays dead quiet for 3 seconds. Then the crowd absolutely loses it. Not even cheering. Just that crazy explosion of noise when a shocked audience finally recovers. Literally double the hype from earlier. People are screaming that I claim to be an average tier, yet somehow launched a high-tier fighter with just 1 strike. Fans are freaking out about the speed, guessing it broke the sound barrier. Meanwhile, my system screen is absolutely popping off. It isn't just single notifications, it's totally spamming me. Hype points going up by 12, 8, 15. My whole display gets swamped in 3 seconds flat. My stats jump from 4,917 all the way to 7,841. Almost 3,000 points off one flex, and it's still rising. I drop my hand and grab my ocean spear from the floor. Leaving the ring, I stroll right past the guy, who is still chilling on the mat. Dude is just spread out on his back, hands tucked behind his neck, casually checking out the stadium ceiling. I call his name, and he shifts his gaze over to me. I point out he quit way too fast and definitely had the strength to stand. He stays quiet for 2 seconds. No, duh, he shouts back without lowering his voice. You literally had a liquid bullet aimed at my brain. I'm not totally stupid. Why catch another beating when I can just chill on the floor and avoid the drama? He smirks, adding that he still owes me food, promising I get to pick the spot. I sling my wave spear over my shoulder and casually walk back into the fighter hallway. Strolling through the tunnel under the VIP boxes, I keep my eyes forward, but my system dings with a super specific alert. Spotted a mood change from Caden. It's a low-key vibe of curiosity. My points bump up by 3, going from 0 to 3. That VIP might have only felt a tiny bit of interest, but hey, this underdog officially got on his radar. By tonight, 6 out of the 10 most viral trends on the local socials are tournament-related. 3 of those are literally about me. Hashtag F tier beats B tier. Hashtag what is Splashboy Kyle's actual power level. Hashtag that guy tapping out. The most viewed thread is chilling on the superpowered community boards. User Abyss Spectator posted a thread breaking down the actual limits of my basic liquid manipulation during my debut fight. The main point they are trying to make is simple. My flex definitely proves I'm above total trash tier, but they claim my moves easily cap out at average levels. They say I'm not actually goated. My opponent just had terrible blocking skills. This super nerdy breakdown perfectly slots my power level into this insanely average, non-threatening category. I'm just chilling on my mattress, swiping through my screen. Suddenly, the vibe in the replies takes a massive turn. Endless spam comments start popping up, looking pretty much copy-pasted. They all say it's just basic liquid powers, and the big guy totally slacked off. I count that exact phrase 17 times. Another comment saying a top-tier fighter would absolutely wreck me pops up 13 times. People keep spamming that I'm just a bait team loser who can't actually brawl. claiming my opponent let me win 9 separate times. It's literally a massive, coordinated troll farm. I drop my device with a total smirk. The Lin crew's little stunt isn't massive, but their timing is absolutely flawless. Spamming hate comments right when my first match is trending. The goal? Hijack the whole narrative. They swapped the hype headline of an F tier, one-shotting a B tier, back to a boring lucky C tier. Barely scrapes past a sloppy B tier. Why do that? To completely kill the hype. Low expectations mean nobody cares when I eventually mess up, which absolutely tanks my point farming. My stash just hit 16,440, basically quadrupling overnight. Can't let the Lin family's hard work go to waste now, right? I grab my phone and log into a burner account I set up like 6 months ago. 0 posts, 0 mutuals. I drop a raw 30-second short. Just the front camera aimed right at my face. The dorm room lighting is super harsh. I just stare into the lens. Yo guys, I'm KL. Just bagged my first league win against Bolt today. I give it a 1-second pause. The internet says I'm just a C-tier nobody and Bolt only choked because he didn't take me seriously. I nod. Honestly, fair point. Bolt rushed me completely blind, so the takes aren't wrong. I pause again. But I want to answer this one specific question. Somebody commented, "What is your game plan against an A- tier or S tier?" I literally just stare at my right hand. I point one finger straight at the lens. I have absolutely no clue. Dropping my hand, I add, "A month ago I was stuck with F tier splash. Now I've awakened C tier water flow control. Honestly, I don't know my own limits yet. I hit them with the slightest head tilt right before it cuts, but if whoever I fight in round 2 is watching, I don't say a word. My eyes do all the talking. Just pure, quiet confidence. No flex needed. End video. Upload. 3 hours later, 1.4 to 2 million views. The app's algorithm caught 2 massive triggers. First, my video perfectly matched today's hottest trending keywords. Second, the engagement metrics were actually insane. 94% watch through, 18.7% likes, 6.3% comments, and 11.2% shares. The algorithm doesn't care about feelings. It just feeds on stats. In my comment section, totally different vibe from the toxic forums. Pinned comment. Why do I feel like when he says I don't know, he actually has everything entirely figured out? Next, comment down. Did anybody else catch that stare at the end? Looped it 3 times. It's unexplainable, just insanely chilling. Like, chilling in a completely unsettling way. Third comment. Can the hater spamming that he's just a C tier finally get a new script? Swiping past 10 or so identical hate comments. Cringe. The troll farm got totally ratioed. I'm just chilling on my bed, staring straight up. I toss my phone away. The system UI softly blinks in the corner of my eye. Total balance is now 19,870. The stash jumped over 3,400 in 3 hours. 1.4 million views. Even if just 1 in 10 people actually cared, it's enough to keep the numbers mooning. They drop the bracket for the second round tomorrow morning. 2 back-to-back dubs means I face Caden in the 3rd round. Got a 3-day gap between fights. How do I min-max 3 days? Step 1. Hit up the junkyard and run a transmute on that busted bronze pump shell. Step 2. Upgrade the Tidecrest Trident, at least 1 tier past C++. Step 3. I shut my eyes. My awakening core hums super softly in my chest. Being a one-trick pony won't cut it against everyone. I absolutely need a backup strat. The skill transmute menu is still glowing on my HUD. Ocean's Wrath, Tide Taming, price tag is 6,000 points. 12 ironclad rhinos are currently chilling at the military base. I literally promised I'd return for them. The way they drop the semifinal rules is straight up dramatic. The morning the prelims wrap up, the main judge actually walks out on stage to announce it. But I catch something off about the wax seal holding the letter. The stamp looks super sketchy, like somebody melted it open and glued it shut again. So the committee decided the semis will be a giant multiplayer battle royale. The whole stadium immediately starts buzzing. The 64 players making it out of prelims are getting split into 2 massive lobbies. 32 in Lobby A, 32 in Lobby B. Both squads get dumped into separate artificial biomes. 2-hour time cap. Everybody spawns with 3 life tokens. Getting dropped or tapping out means you cough up 1 token to whoever beat you. After 2 hours, the top 16 hoarders from each lobby move on. Honestly, the format itself isn't terrible. The giant red flag is the actual matchmaking. The Jumbotron starts scrolling the player lists, showing Lobby A's squad 1 by 1. 32 people in Lobby A, 31 of them are basically Lin family cronies. The last slot? That's me. Down in the pit, everybody's gossiping. Bro, why is this lobby all Lin elites? Hold up, player 7. Zeke? Isn't that guy literally the main judge's nephew? Up in the VIP boxes, Caden looks super smug about the brackets, but he's barely even reacting. So unfazed that I don't even get a single awe point off him. He clearly rigged this from day one. Current total, 22,150. Plenty. I just stare at the prongs of my Tide Crest trident and grin. Honestly, because the whole setup is just hilarious. 31 guys trying to gang up on a single dude, and the Lin clan still thought that wasn't enough overkill, so they literally tossed their B tiers into the mix. Bring it on. You step into the fake eco zone through a massive 3-meter steel tube. Down the line, it splits into 32 separate drop chutes. They claim it's totally random, but the glowing tracks lining my pod's walls definitely look tampered with. Yeah, my spawn point is absolutely rigged. The admins totally set me up right in the middle of the arena. Perfect spot to get jumped. I walk right in. Launch sequence starts. Colors blur, then boom. Woods. I'm chilling in a 30-meter wide gap, boxed in by massive holographic trees. Just like I guessed, smack in the dead center of the map. Group A's deathmatch timer pops up. 3, 2, 1, go. I immediately toss the standard playbook out the window. Stabbing my Tide Crest polearm straight into the dirt, I ditch my team jacket. Digging into my pocket, I yank out a vacuum-sealed pouch. It's loaded with 3 slabs of seasoned dried beef. I wrap the meat up nice and tight in tin foil. Next up, scavenging some dead twigs scattered around the grassy patch. Using water to spark a flame sounds crazy, but vibrating moisture in the air super fast creates enough friction to ignite things. 30 seconds pass, and a massive plume of dark smoke starts billowing from my spot. That giant white cloud shoots over the 20,000 square meter fake sky, totally obvious to everyone playing. The audience completely loses it. Pure chaos in the stands. Bro, what is he doing? Lighting a campfire? The game literally just kicked off. 31 dudes are hunting him down, and he's just out here sparking up a barbecue in the open. The drone cams zoom right in. The big screen shows me squatting by the blaze, perfectly lining up my wrapped snacks on the heat, flames reflecting in my eyes, just focused on cooking. The announcers are going feral. Chat. Are my eyes working right now? Player 121. Kyle just threw down a literal bonfire in the middle of a battle royale during minute 1. Dude, let's break this down. Is this some galaxy brain strat? I'm honestly lost. It makes zero sense. 12 years casting these games, and nobody has ever cooked a meal mid-tournament. Meanwhile, my heads-up display is blowing up. Score counters hitting +18, +27, +14. Notifications are spamming, but my eyes are off the screen. I'm just listening. Noise echoing out from the timber, coming from 4 ways. Getting tighter. The nearest squad? Northeast, 120 meters out. 3 guys. Southwest has 5 rushing in hot, desperate for the opening kill. Up north, a pack of 7. They're creeping way too carefully. Definitely the primary hit squad. Random stragglers are closing in from the sidelines. 26 players completely swarming my spot. I peek at my silver wrappers. Snacks still raw. I just glance up at the tree line and call out. Okay, you can quit creeping around now. The rustling instantly dies down. Hey, if you're pulling up, grab some kindling on your way. It's way too damp out here. These flames are super weak. 3 solid seconds of pure quiet. Then, some triggered dude yells from the bottom left woods. The heck is your deal? A squad of 5 bursts from the brush, led by a D-class pyro. Bro's fists are already blazing. Cut the crap, Kyle. Sparky sounds way angrier than he looks. You actually think these dumb mind games will? He totally chokes on his sentence because the scent hits him. A nice breeze was pushing my way. Rich soy, cracked pepper, heavy garlic. An absolute flavor bomb directly attacking 5 starving teens who skipped breakfast. Sparky's fire literally shrinks an inch. Totally accidental. The guy just lost focus. Still squatting by the pit. I snag a crispy strip out with a stick. Give it a puff, and snap off a chunk. Pretty mid, kinda heavy on the salt. I pull the last 2 packs off the coals. You guys hungry? The whole squad just stares at each other. Is he seriously offering food? Bro, it's a trap, don't do it. But it smells insane. Up in the VIP suite, Caden's drink stays frozen mid-air. For your bowner stats, your bowner. For once he's actually glued to the monitor, watching some kids squat by a campfire munching snacks. His assistant whispers close by. Boss, do we give the green light to push? Total silence from Caden. His brain is just buffering. What is my actual angle here? A dude with over 30 ops purposely acting like a total bait beacon. Moves like this mean one of two things: either zero brain cells, or cocky enough to solo a 30-plus squad. Caden's grip freezes over his weapon for a solid second. Then it clicks for him. He's grouping the whole lobby up so he can wipe them all in a single clash. Just as I gulp down chunk number 3, the aggro starts. That bottom left squad of 5 finally commits to the push. A massive fireball launches my way from 30 meters back. Right on cue, the 3-man squad from the top right joins the party. A sick line of jagged rock spikes bursts out of the turf, zipping straight for the middle of my camp. That crew of 7 up north drops creeping vines straight down from the canopy. Flaming spheres, ground spikes, creepers, and a couple of steel-throwing knives. 5 distinct moves blitzing the middle from 3 directions at once. I pop up fast but totally hold my ground. What I pull next basically makes the announcer choke on his mic. I bite down on my half-chewed meat snack. Snatching my dumped school jacket with both hands, I stash the last 2 shiny pouches inside. Next, I just chill and chuck the coat behind a thick stump 5 meters away. Yanking my ocean pitchfork from the dirt, the fire blast gets under 2 meters away. Up goes my right hand the whole palm. No pointing, flat hand, skipping the standard water whip. Instead, every single drop of moisture, hanging 30 meters above the zone, activates in 2 flat seconds, stretching into this crystal clear liquid barrier. Basically a veil, 3 millimeters thick. That flame smashes the fluid wall. Zero boom. The superheated clash just flash boils the shield right there. That sudden steam burst knocks the flame blast 15 degrees off track. The inferno skims my left side and wrecks the dead wood at my back. Dirt needles hit my boots. I shift left, dodging the first wave, dipping 30 centimeters down. The next line barely scratches my right shoe. I slide back half a step. Wave 3 erupts 2 centimeters from my toes. I'm not using my eyes for this insane fancy footwork. It's all in the bottom of my shoes. Seriously, the most slept-on trick for hydro users. By feeling liquid shifts in the dirt, I basically build a live radar of everything creeping underground. I don't even stutter as every shoe hits the perfect sweet spot between those needles. A creeper plunges from the sky. My ocean pitchfork swings in a curve. The spikes don't slice the weed. The triple points snag it, twisting hard 1 meter out against its natural grain, just like wringing a wet rag. The plant fibers give up and the thing snaps instantly. From the first flame hit to the weed popping, 4 seconds flat. I haven't left my spot. Scarcely shifted 2 meters the whole time, still biting down on that beef snack. The whole stadium dead stops for a second. He held his ground. The announcer finally speaks, sounding totally stressed. Dude didn't even attack. 3 wildly different defense moves pulled off in 4 seconds flat. A C tier shouldn't process stuff that fast. My screen blows up. Score jumps plus 45, 22, and 61. The massive payouts are dropping, but zero time to check my stats. Wave 2 is crashing the party. That 7-man squad busts through the woods. 2 steel-powered guys tanking up front. 3 snipers hanging in the middle. 2 healers dragging behind. The other 16 players rush in from everywhere else. 2018 swarming from all sides. 28 powers pop off simultaneously. Flames, air slicers, dirt needles, steel shuriken, creepers, and frost daggers. We're talking 7 totally different magic flavors blitzing the dead center from 360 degrees. It's so insanely packed that the sky's hollow projection glitches out for a sec. The announcer's mic literally squeaks. 28 blasts dropping at once. Total surround sound. Kyle chokes halfway through his sentence. Because I vanished. Not a warp. I just dashed faster than the arena cams could even capture. 28 hits, mashed together in the middle. Big bang. The mental energy shields kick in. The metal floor rips open into a gnarly 6-meter pit. Dirt and ash everywhere. Nobody in the middle. Just a fried, ashy school blazer sitting there. Chucked it back from the stump a second before they let loose. Classic bait. Up in the bleachers, a guy shrieks. Someone else moans. One dude is absolutely losing it laughing. My stat screen starts spinning numbers faster than ever. Score jumps 88, 77, then 156. Still no time to care. I call out from like 7 or 8 meters in the sky, just chilling on a thick steel rafter where the fake sky skeleton pokes out. Ocean pitchfork resting easy on my shoulder. I stare down at the 28 losers in the pit, totally lit up by the dying flames. I sound like that guy grading a totally garbage group project. You guys have 0 teamwork. 28 aiming at 1, and 12 of you completely whiffed. Your absolute worst shot flew 9 meters wide. Hey, you? The D-tier pyro bro. You seriously need to fix that throwing arm. A sitting duck 30 meters away and you missed by over 2 meters? Bro, you'd flop the easiest high school track meet. The audience lets out this crazy noise you can't even describe. It isn't cheers or giggles, like this feral screech that rips out of you when forced to watch some insane mashup of pure chaos and hyper-hype action. The gambling bets crashed 30 seconds ago. The house server is literally spitting glitch codes. Up in the VIP box, Cadence is totally frozen with his drink stuck at his mouth. Not a single drop of wine moving. His sidekick interrupts out of nowhere without waiting for a cue. Boss, shush. Caden is just glued to the monitor, watching the guy balancing on that rafter. A pop-up alert hits the screen. It caught a massive vibe shift from Caden. Bro is in total hyper-focus mode now. Vibes are peaking. Respect score just jumped 18 points, going straight from 3 to 18. The underdog on that rafter totally has the apex predator hooked. I snap back to reality and scan the 28 players down below. Finally, I lock eyes with someone just chilling way in the back. Some average tier C player, hands casually shoved in their pockets. They literally haven't lifted a finger yet, but they are totally staring right back at me. Total poker face. We hold this crazy intense stare down across a 7 or 8 meter drop for like 1 solid second. I slide the ocean wave trident off my shoulder, aim the blades down, and slam it straight into the metal rafter. Just like that. Round 1 of this wild survival game wraps up. 28 people took their shot and completely missed. I literally haven't thrown a single counterattack. Yet we are barely 4 minutes into this whole thing. Plus, I still have 2 whole bags of jerky left to snack on.